Live in reality as it is, not as you wish it was. In order to write about life, first you must live it. Live the full life of the mind, exhilarated by new ideas, intoxicated by the romance of the unusual. Life isn't hard to manage when you've nothing to lose. The point of the argument is not to defeat each other, but to understand each other. Life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we react to it. Pain is weakness leaving your body. Sometimes which choice you make is not as important as making a choice and committing to it. Don't let the noise of other people's opinions drown your inner voice. Thinking is difficult. That's why most people judge. There are more things likely to frighten us than to crush us. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Every person alive hits a crossroads in life when you have to let go of the past and forge ahead into something new. The only sad thing would be clinging to the past once it's out of reach. A broken heart is just the growing pains necessary so that you can love more completely when the real thing comes along. When you start to live outside yourself, it's all dangerous. Never confuse movement with action. When you love, you wish to do things for. You wish to sacrifice for. You wish to serve. A cat has absolute emotional honesty. Human beings, for one reason or another, may hide their feelings, but a cat does not. Fake love is mighty convincing in a world where real love is mighty rare. Whoever fights can lose. Whoever doesn't fight has already lost. We live longer when we are too busy living. Don't do anything you feel you'd have to lie about later. Choose your pain, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The past is in your head. The future is in your hands. A sword can only be formed once it goes into the fire. Maturity is when you have the power to destroy someone who did you wrong, but you just breathe, walk away, and let life take care of them. You are the only person you can control. Be humble enough to know you can lose everything, but be confident enough to know you can get it all back. Anger is an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it is poured. Be smart enough to realize that life doesn't wait for you to be okay. Every time you lie, you are creating problems that you will have to deal with in the future. Do the right thing now. You've survived 100% of your bad days. A man must suffer if he is to remake himself, for he is both the marble and the sculptor. Never forget why you started. We are all apprentices in a craft where no one ever becomes a master. Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. Your hardest times often lead to the greatest moments of your life. If you can't beat fear, just do it scared. No one owes you anything. You have to work for what you want in life. There are things we don't want to happen, but have to accept. Things we don't want to know, but have to learn. And people we can't live without, but have to let go. The moment when you feel like giving up is the moment you need to push harder. The worst kinds of enemies are those who pretend to be your friends. Never decide what you can or cannot do based on your lowest points in life. Only put off until tomorrow what you are willing to die having left undone. Avoid making decisions when you're angry, and avoid making promises when you're happy. You will never understand the damage you did to someone until the same thing is done to you. The harder your life becomes, the faster you will reach your goals. Excuses won't fix your problems. Take responsibility for your actions. Befriend those who expand your thinking, not just your circle. Ability can take you to the top, but it takes character to keep you there. Trust is built over the life of a relationship, but can be lost in an instant if you're not careful. If you don't fight for what you want, don't cry for what you lost. Someday isn't even a real day, although for some people, it's every day. A man who stands for nothing will fall for anything. Once a problem is solved, its simplicity is amazing. Your progress does not need to be seen or validated by others to be real. We don't walk away to teach people a lesson. We walk away because we finally learned ours. Remember that every time you try, you're making progress. It all begins and ends in your mind. What you give power to has power over you. Work on mastering your mind. Excuses are always there and easy to make. Finding a way is what takes courage. One who believes in himself has no need to convince others. Learn to miss someone without wanting them back. If life wasn't hard, you would never grow. The human being is the only animal that can laugh, even though he has least occasions for that. I like to listen, I have learned a great deal from listening carefully. Most people never listen. It is awfully easy to be hard-boiled about everything in the daytime, but at night, it is another thing. Sometimes you just have to accept that some people can only be in your heart, not in your life. Life becomes easier when you learn to accept the apology you never got. The thing is to become a master in your old age, to acquire the courage to do what children did when they knew nothing. Every day is a new day. It is better to be lucky, but I would rather be exact. Then when luck comes, you are ready. Be alone sometimes. It is important for your mind and well-being. Anger is the punishment we give ourselves for someone else's mistake. Mistakes do not attest to your character. Your reaction to them does that without you even trying. There isn't always an explanation for everything. No, that is the great fallacy. The wisdom of old men. They do not grow wise. They grow careful. Set a goal so big that you can't achieve it until you grow into the person you can. Be aware of people who are in your circle, but not in your corner. Life gives you lots of chances to screw up, which means you have just as many chances to get it right. There are two ways to do things, right and again. A person must be old enough to recognize their mistakes, smart enough to benefit from them, and strong enough to correct them.